Hello, beautiful mutants. It is, well, I thought it was going to be all sun, but it's still quite warm, about 25, 26. And I'm just going for a short walk today because tomorrow I have the day off and I really fully intend to do my first 10K walk of the year and make a video from the SPCA, the racetrack somewhere around there, or the highway. So yeah, received a fascinating email that made me reflect back on a couple. It's going to be the power of thought and visualization will be the topic, sort of thing. Usually random, but today I thought because it's going to be short. And I think I've mentioned it before, but I will mention it again. The first is more of a power visualization over a period of time. When I was young, 15, 16 or something like that, I joined a bowling league, seniors league, so or junior or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but it was in high school, and a friend of mine, convinced me to join. I bowled a few times before, not that good. I mean, well, I started the league, I think, with an average of like 144, 145, like 140, something like that. So, I mean, I'd been capable of bowling a 200 before, right? I know this is probably boring bowling, but my point is that when I was in the league, right, I bowled every Monday night. So it wasn't necessarily Monday night. It could have been like any night of the week, but there were times, throughout the season. So it ran from like October to April or something like that, 6 or 7 months, right? That I would visualize, like when before falling asleep. So while still aware and still conscious, sort of thing, I would visualize, like throwing the ball down the alley, sort of thing, and getting strikes and stuff like that. So over the course of 6 or 7 months, my average went from an okay 146 to respectable. I think I was in the top 10 of bowlers, which have been like 60 or 70. So I was in the top 10 averages, or just below the top 10 average, sort of thing, by season's end, and I received the trophy of most improved bowler. Power of visualization, power of thought, right? Similar idea, because I don't really. I don't dream, like when I don't have, like, I can't visualize for some reason. Like I know I can, but when I close my eyes, it's all like stars or red, black, sort of thing. Like um, occasionally, like I'll start remembering dreams. Um, I sleep lots, and I think I sleep lots to get a couple of good deep REM cycles in. I'm at the stage where I'm needing the sleep, sort of thing. Anyway, so I'm relating back to the second story. Um, in Kamloops. Uh, uh, this was during the period of time where I was there for 2 weeks, sort of thing. And so I think might have been on the second week or the third. Well, I was there for a period of 3 weeks, actually. So it's probably in the second week or the third week. I happened to notice, and I mentioned to you as well, like the last name that was familiar, and so so at night, you know, um, and I've had this thought before, sort of thing. Like I said, like when I was in Kamloops for 6 weeks, I actually walked over there and contemplating, like knocking on the door, sort of thing. But never did. I walked up to Bachelor Heights for another person as well, and tried to contact him as well, and no such luck. And the third person, or the other person, I walked and I wasn't sure. I should have, but I never did get a hold of him. He did get a hold of me eventually, and yeah. Anyway, so getting back to my story, because I'm gonna make this a short video and go home and hang out. So that night, or like I thought, like wouldn't be cool if I ran into this person. And sure enough, the next day, visiting her mom, this was like the one day where she was out of her bed. She was in a wheelchair. Both me and my brother were there in the afternoon. Sorry, blowing a fly. And so we're sitting outside, and sure enough, like just before lunchtime or something like that, I can't remember when it was, maybe after lunch or something like that, she comes walking up, right? And she glances at me like I knew instantly who she was. I mean, there was no right, and she glanced at me, and she probably knew, but she had a purpose. She was going in to see her mom, sort of thing, and that was all fine and dandy, right? And I thought to myself, yeah, kind of cool. But that was just the first part, and then the second part afterwards. So this was hours later, a couple hours later, a few hours later. Mind you, we'd been in the lobby. Like I said, Mom was in a really good spirits, like high energy. Ordered pizza for this. Went and got pizzas for all of the staff, sort of thing. And so we're out in the main entryway, sort of thing. Don't know how long, maybe like 15 minutes, half an hour, sort of thing. But so sure enough, this was about like I said, a few hours later, she and her sister come out, right? And then she looks at me, and I look at her, and she does her smile that she has, and says, "Dennis," right? And I says, "Debbie," right? Right, and we give each other a hug, and she actually said something along the lines, we should get together and for old, you know what I mean, right? So that never happened, sort of thing, because I haven't been there much recently. So, but again, it was. It is one of those, those things that it's probable, right? But then, right, like you said, I mean, all realities are probable. So, that meteor, like, yeah, you and maybe you alone, but possibly you and a bunch of people at the same time were thinking, that they would love to see like a meteor. And sure enough, a meteor, you know. Um, right, manifesting thought. Like I said, if you're good enough at manifesting something to happen, you can actually make something out of thin air. But more often than not, like usually what it is you're gonna like you're thinking of something, sort of thing, and that will happen. Like again, I got it there on Amazon. There was a series called Undone or something like that, and I watched all the first season. I haven't watched the second season. The second season is kind of different, and it should, because it's kind of has the guy from Better Call Saul. I think I mentioned it to you before. But the idea of manifesting keys, right? Like making keys appear, like and she tried and she tried and tried, and just finally happened when she wasn't. Anyways, I'm gonna cut this video short. Actually, it's not even really short anymore. It's actually longer than the video yesterday. Wow. So yeah, I'm gonna go back, and tomorrow I will do a longer walk, and possibly like a good sized video with lots of content in it, right? This was like, rambling at times, sort of thing. So anyways, stay tuned.